Well, you say, you praised Penny Wong's statement. It's true, she dragged in the Chinese ambassador. But I have to say, while she said that the sentence was appalling, she said nothing about anything about the nature of China, its system, and say the man's innocent and all that. She could have gone to town and she did not. She's appalling and she wants an explanation from China. There is no explanation. She should be stripping pieces off him. But listen, there are now 3 wars that the West has been dragged into, right? Ukraine, Israel, and the war to preserve shipping lanes in the Red Sea, which goes into the Suez Canal, very important shipping lane. Houthi rebels have been firing missiles and rockets at ships there, anything really, hit a British tanker. On Friday, the US and Britain attacked targets in Yemen, Syria, and Iraq. They were all being used by Islamist groups backed by Iran, one of which had killed 3 US servicemen in an attack last week. This is in retaliation for that. And it's done that, but it doesn't seem to be working much, Greg. I mean, I saw in one target in Iraq, I wonder, only, 16 dead of this really important target. And I wonder whether it's because President Biden said, he gave him a week's notice, almost a week's notice, and said the day before the attacks were going to hit targets in Iraq and Syria. Would that have anything to do with that?
Oh, well, you're absolutely right, Andrew. I mean, I think this is essentially a symbolic retaliation by Biden. So Biden deserves high marks for his solidarity with Israel. He's much better than the Democratic Party. It may be because he was never educated at Harvard, he still works out that if an Islamist death cult attacks a liberal democracy, you go with a liberal democracy. However, his policy on Iran has been an unmitigated disaster. He just wanted to reverse Donald Trump's policy, and he spent nearly 3 years trying to woo Iran into a nuclear deal which was meant to be a détente. Now, this has freed up, he hasn't enforced sanctions on Iran. It's freed up $100 billion worth of funds for Iran, which they've used to build up their military and support terrorism. And now, before this retaliation, Iran-backed militia groups had attacked American targets, not just Israeli or international targets, American targets, 160 times. Now, finally, they got a drone through the American defences and killed 3 American soldiers. And so Biden was forced to respond. And his message is, I don't want to escalate and I'm giving you maximum warning, get out of the way. I'm just going to, bomb an empty field or bomb a rock or something. But I don't think that cuts much mustard with Iran.
I've never heard Iran say, we're going to attack an American target. We don't want to escalate. We're giving you warning. We won't do it to you personally, we'll do it to someone else. We don't want to escalate. But all that we hear from the Biden administration, we don't want to escalate.
Yeah, if you project
we won't attack Iran itself.
Yeah, if you project weakness. So supporting Israel, he projected strength by deploying 2 aircraft carriers. But in this retaliation, he's projected weakness. And if you project weakness, that's the lesson your enemies take.
But I'll tell you what, Donald Trump, for all his many failings, one thing that made him particularly effective internationally as a deterrent was that he seemed as mad as a cut snake. You didn't know what the hell he might do to you.
Absolutely.
And that made you be very cautious. Good warning. Greg Sheridan, thank you so much for your time.
Thanks, Andrew.